Alright folks, we're back doing some putting after that abysmal live stream round earlier. I don't know what that message says, but thanks for the message. What's up, the goody YouTuber sub? I guess your username begs the question. Did you subscribe to the channel? I got 9, yes. What up? What's up, Lightning Gamer 25? I'm tucking my shirt in. I put a sweatshirt on, and the bottom of it was messing with me. Like your green? Thanks. I don't know how long I'll be live for this one, but we'll see. It's supposed to be going out, but I don't know if I feel like that. do me a favor if you guys wouldn't mind, just like the video. See if we can get the live out to a few more people. I'm watching this Hurricane Milton aftermath coverage. They just had, one of the news stations just had the helicopter up in the air, and there's like, as expected, but entire neighborhoods underwater. There was a like car dealer place that had like 100 cars underwater in some parking lot. Anyone in Florida right now? putting better than your round earlier today? No, tell me about it. That was brutal. But like I say, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Do you ever wash those Crocs? I haven't washed these because they're essentially brand new. But yeah, I have like 6 pairs. Plus I wear socks with them, so do you usually wash your shoes? Never? I mean, washing these things are pretty easy. Even if they're like muddy or something, you literally just rinse them off and they dry out. But I've cleaned some other ones that got real dirty with like soap and water. How much do those cost, the Crocs? Depends where and when you get them. I don't know what they're going for on Amazon right now, but when I bought them, I've gotten deals for 2 for 1, so they come out to like 15-20 bucks a piece. I bought 2 pairs of these white ones. I have the same ones in black. I have 2 pairs of those, and then I may have thrown out the red ones and the blue ones. I did have a red pair, I had a blue pair, and then I have 2 black pairs with that are like closed toe, so they're basically covered. They're more of like working type shoes. Highly recommend though. Like I like them so much, I have pairs I wear outside and then pairs I wear inside. I basically just wear them around the house like slippers. Black cover ones sound like a good choice for me. Yeah, they're usually a little bit more expensive, but I mean, there's tons of different styles. If you're gonna do it though, buy the actual Crocs. The cheap like Amazon plastic knockoff ones just aren't as good. Anyone catch my live stream earlier? I went out back and played 18 holes on the simulator. What's good? I just had North Carolina. Don't worry, I'm not driving. What's up, Black Cloud? It's funny, real quick, go back to go back to last night's stream. Real quick, pop out here, go there, and go to your last message that you sent when you said you were leaving. Go back right to there when you sent it, and then just listen to the next like 2 minutes. I think you'll get a laugh out of it. So, man, what's up, Patrick? Welcome back. Rolling some putts after that abysmal 18 holes earlier. I don't know how to go back and watch last night's stream. I tried looking for it but couldn't find it. I'm on my phone. It was just you had a. I don't want to really spoil it, but you had a typo in the last message that you sent last night, and it was a very funny unintentional typo. So I don't know. The only way I know how to do it is just live stream, and it was if you go over to like the live tab, it was the one putting in Hurricane. It's like I guess 3 down now because there's this one right now, and then the 2 that were earlier today, and then the one that's 2 hours and 46 minutes. I don't remember exactly where you left. It was kind of towards the end, but if you go back and you do for like the chat on there, you can select like live chat replay or whatever. And it was just it was a funny typo in the last message that you sent. But it's all good. You can look at it after if it's easier. I'll try and find it now. Be right back. Yeah, you'll get it. You're gonna get a chuckle out of it, but let me know. Anyone in here play golf today, by any chance? Oh my god, it definitely doesn't happen at all. I was saying after we kind of talked about it, the person, I don't know how long you watched, but the person below you put like a shocked face emoji after I read it out, and I was saying after that, maybe you can go back after, but I was saying after that, that was like one letter away from being just a perfectly fine message. My phone autocorrects too much. That was funny. That was a good way to end it last night with a good laugh. Black Cloud, you missed my sim round live stream earlier. It was pretty ugly. So my homie came over and hit it on the sky track. He was blasting my 600, 200 yards carry with these. I can only get 150 to 180 on a good shot. I suck at golf. Dude must have been hammering it. I usually hit my 6 if I'm hitting it decent. It's usually around 200, 205-ish. But that's total distance. I'm not carrying that. What clubs do you have? You have the same swing speeds? How is that? Mizuno HM JPX 923s. They sound nice. I know Mizuno makes nice clubs. I'm not familiar though with Mizuno's. Are those like comparable to what I have with the P770s or P790s? Are those like are those like cavity backs? Are those like game improvement? I know like the JPX Hot Metal was one of them, but again, like I don't know their lineup because I just kind of stick with TaylorMade. So So much for that 6-ball theory. Brad's 877. You try to put topspin on the putts? Buy one of those putt out pressure trainers. Keep it in the target topspin. Never tried it before, but it does seem to roll better. It's kind of funny you say that. I've noticed that I tend to usually hit my putts. They're definitely not like I try to get some forward press on them, but I tend to hit them more towards the bottom of the face, which I don't know. I don't think it's putting topspin on it, but I'm sure it's putting a lot less backspin on it. Um, I don't know. It's tough to tell. Maybe it is topspin. It's tough to tell on the ball, but um, that's interesting. I don't know if I am or not, to be honest, but I try to have some forward press and almost shut down the face a bit, and then I do tend to hit it lower on the putter face. Seems to stay on line better though. I kind of know what you're talking about. Like it stays on a better start line and it kind of stays true to that line. I'm not good enough for player or tour irons yet. I think he's better at compressing the ball than me. Also, new golf jests. They're rolling back drivers and irons. No way. Balls first, then clubs. So dumb. I mean, I get it. It's easier to change the equipment than it is to change the courses, but that's dumb. That's going to be. They're making a terrible decision by possibly. I forget what they call it, like bifurcation or something like that. They're basically going to turn it into only the pros use certain equipment and then everyone else uses completely different stuff. So they're going to use reduced flight balls and then apparently what you're saying is reduced flight drivers too. Like I know they put limits on it, but if they're making a big mistake because one of the cool things about golf is like you can literally use the same stuff. Obviously you can't do the same thing with it, but it makes you realize that more. If you're using two completely different like types of equipment, I don't know. I think to me that kind of ruins. It kind of ruins. It doesn't ruin golf, but it ruins me watching golf and having like the same. I don't know, admiration because they're kind of using similar stuff. If that makes sense. 3 or 4 page article about the rollback of clubs. It's dumb. Change the courses you can change, and if you can't change them, like at a certain point, yeah, they're hitting it further and they're getting closer to the hole and whatnot. But if you add like just put some trees around the course and like on dog legs, like if they keep hitting it further and further, eventually they're just gonna have to go to like a 3-wood off the tee because they literally run out of space with driver. So like at a certain point, you just keep letting it go a little bit further. They're not even gonna be able to hit driver, so they won't. It's like they're like trying to prevent. I don't know. I don't get it. I think that's a big mistake. Definitely turn me off to golf. Golf's hard enough. And roll back balls. No, but that's the thing for us mere mortals. Now they want to roll back equipment. Screw that. So, I mean, from what I understand with the balls, they're still going to sell both of them. It's just the pros use one, and then we're going to use whatever we have in our bags. Same thing as equipment. I would assume they're just going to make the same level of equipment they are now, and then they'll just be, which it already kind of is, which I kind of get. Like the tour players are using like blades and stuff like that, and they have tweaks to all their clubs where they are different anyways, but like they're essentially going to be using a completely different ball than all of us and then completely different clubs. They can't, no way, the average golfer isn't going to adopt that stuff unless they keep making solely those balls, but that's not my understanding. Why can't they just build new courses? I understand the tradition is massive golf. Black Desert bought land near me, Northern Ireland, and you're going to build a championship course. Well, that's one thing. So it's one thing, you're right. It's one thing to, as they're building new courses, to make them longer and longer. That's one thing. I think the main concern is about, like you were saying, um, the tradition and the fact that all these traditional courses that either don't have land available to extend them, or even if they did, they just didn't want to do it. Say like Augusta or any of these like super like Pebble Beach, these kind of courses that like people know and they've like put up like historic rounds there. I think it's more that worry to where these guys are now breaking all like those type of records and like the average low score from all that stuff. But do they build a long course designed for today's game or design it rolled back? No, so that's what I'm saying. Um, if they were smart, they would just keep building the new ones longer and longer. They lengthen the courses for pros, and a lot of the problem is they're running out of space to make them even longer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's more of a concern. Brad S. 877. It's more of a concern of the already made golf courses, um, from like a legacy standpoint, more so than the new ones being made. But yeah, I mean, if they roll back the golf balls permanently, um, I don't know. I would assume they don't have the need to buy more land to make them longer. So I don't know if they'll do that, but it's dumb. It's like, I know it's a little bit different, but it's like for the NBA pros, like for all the dudes playing in the NBA, like changing their basketball hoop to a 12-foot hoop, and then everyone else just uses a 10-foot hoop. Like it's dumb. People are gaining more distance because they work out more than ever before. Tiger was one of the first to implement working. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's part of it, obviously, and you want technology to keep improving. So you want to be able to you want to let the companies spend the money to do the research and development and design equipment that goes longer and straighter. That's what you want. So like they're I feel like they're in the mindset of like bringing golf and like reining it back towards the days where they were using literally like wooden clubs and like those balata balls or whatever they were back in the day. Like that's not how it works. And like you're saying, some of the tour pros back in the day, they'd be drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, like they weren't exactly working out like you're saying and taking their body and their game to a new level. I think it's a major mistake, but we'll see. They do these plans, I think, purposely, like multiple years out, so they can figure out what like the public blowback will be. But it's dumb. I live a half hour away from two of the world's best courses, Royal Portrush and Portrush Port Stewart. Both courses have land available. Of course, it's not sustainable for all courses. That's awesome. You live that close to those courses, but yeah, I agree. I think they should make the ones that they can longer, and I think they should build the new ones that they're building longer. And again, one guy I was watching like the Golf Channel. It was after one of the majors, and he was saying if they were actually smart, what they would do is start making making the courses shorter. Because again, like I was saying before, that takes some of the clubs out of people's hands. So if you make a hole shorter and it's a 300-yard hole, that puts people back into hybrids, irons, three woods. At the bare minimum, leave them unchanged. If you can extend them, extend them. It's about being challenging, not necessarily long. Like plant more trees like right in the middle of the fairway. Something that they need to go over around, think about. Or couldn't they just choose new ones in new areas? Feel like they just want to kick back to their favorite developers. I mean, yeah, but the problem I mean, I hope they keep developing new courses that are awesome and they think about new stuff that they can add or whatever. But the problem is, again, I think they're mainly concerned with like the older historical courses. Um, Again, like I don't know, it's even like something like St. Andrews say, even if they were able to buy land and keep extending it, you're changing the course. So I think their problem is like the legacy of it, and like you're changing. I think in their eyes, they see like you're making these Frankenstein clubs, like golf clubs, and you're turning these like historical landmark type of courses into like Frankenstein courses just to compensate for distance. I think that's the only way it makes sense to me from where their mindset's coming from. But to me, it's like they did. Like the issue is a surge of golf and COVID broke out. Now that the honeymoon phase is over, tons of golfers left to go back to their other sports, so building new courses here isn't really ideal. Courses around here are still pretty busy, but yeah, I mean, if the demand in your area is dropping, you're not going to have the incentive to build newer and newer courses. And again, I don't think like the average like municipal public course that's being built, they're not going to do anything different. They're just going to build them like they've always built them. I'm talking more so about like tour level courses and like historical tour level courses that we'll never play. And if we did, we'd be using our regular golf balls and regular clubs. But to me, they just didn't have to do anything. And the thing that they did do when they didn't have to do anything, they're like trying to fix something that's not broken. The thing that they did do and the decision that they made was the completely wrong one. So it's like not only did they make a bad decision, they shouldn't have made a decision on it in the first place. But I mean, whatever. I'm not buying. I don't think it's a money grab, but even if it was, like, I'm not going out and buying, say, these regular balls that people have been using for the past however long it's been around, where the ball's been the same. If these somehow become like, um, what do they call them, unconforming balls or unconforming clubs, that's the least of my worries. I'm not going out and buying new clubs and buying new balls. But I mean, to me, especially when I first started playing, and even sometimes now, you hit that one really good shot, and you think like, wow, like that's like an actual like very high level like type of shot. When you start mixing in different equipment, you're that's going to reduce that type of feeling. It's like that one drive that you smash or that one super long putt that like even like would have been low percentage for people on tour. It's like those type of shots that go in, and then they're almost those in the future with different equipment almost would have like an asterisk on them. That's how I feel. Take Topgolf for instance. It was about to go out of business and fast. Not all of them, but a ton of them. One in Vegas made money, then some already, but most haven't. Broke even yet and won't. Yeah, I don't. I've only ever been to one Topgolf. It was in Tampa, Florida, but there have been a lot more. I think they tried to expand too fast. Like you were saying with COVID, golf had that surge, and Topgolf was kind of popping up around then too. I think they thought that they had a cash cow in their hands, and they built way too many new locations and not necessarily ideal, and probably too close to some other ones. So instead of becoming like a destination type of place, what it was at the beginning, because there weren't that many of them, now you turn it into like a movie theater effect where there's one in every town, which you want something that is like rare and people want to go to for the first time. Like I went to Topgolf once, and I like you get the idea. I don't know necessarily for how expensive it is. If that's one of those things where you're gonna go there multiple times a month, multiple times a year type of thing. I'd be curious if like the PGA Tour themselves did a poll. Like if they did one on Twitter or even their own like website, and they did a poll open for like the entire country or even the world to vote on, and like you could only vote once, like you couldn't spam it and all that type of stuff. I bet if they did a vote, what the public wanted to see, like their average consumer of rolling the balls and the clubs back, it would be overwhelmingly no on both of those. The same way if like the NBA did a poll and was like, hey, should we move the basket to 12 feet or should we leave it at 10? Plus, Topgolf is ungodly expensive. Food and beverage is where they get you. Never been or heard how it operates. You usually spend $200 to $500 in a few hours. Yeah, exactly. Everyone, again, I've only been once, but yeah, they get you for the bay. They get you for the food and drinks, which are crazy. And usually, if you go, you're gonna spend there like 2 hours there. So hopefully, you can split it between people. But yeah, I've heard we tried to keep it kind of reasonable when we went, and that was a few years ago. So prices, I'm sure, are even crazier now. But yeah, I've heard people spending hundreds of dollars on a single night out, which that's not going to happen. We're just trash talking everything golf here tonight. Maybe I should change the title. Talking trash about the PGA, talking trash about the ball rollouts, or the ball rollbacks, the club rollbacks, Top Golf. I was talking trash about my own golf game. Anyone been listening to any good music lately? Like one of those songs that you keep going back to? I need to add some new stuff into my Spotify. Might just go play real golf and save the money. Yeah, and on top of that, more like go play like 5 rounds of golf and still save money. That's where they messed up. I get those places, I'm sure. I'm positive they're not cheap to build, but I mean, that may be the next step unless more of them are going to go out of business. What they really should do is make it like the price of a movie. Like $20 per person, like per hour. And then if you want to buy food, you want to buy food. I don't know if that's similar to what the bays are right now anyways, but they gotta figure out how to make it more of like comparable to the price of bowling, like a night out bowling or a night out at like the movies. I wonder how the simulator, like indoor simulator places are doing. You would think if Topgolf is struggling, a lot of those same thing. A lot of those indoor golf simulator places popped up. I'm sure they probably, at least around here, they probably make their money on the cold winter months, and they're probably pretty empty during the summer, I would assume. But And people were smart. They just buy a nice sim setup and it'll pay for itself in a week's time. Yeah, I completely agree. I get a lot of people, if you're in an apartment or whatever, you can't necessarily make that work unless you have like a extra bedroom, and they're not exactly cheap. But if you have any kind of like yard area, even if you had one of those cages, a lot of people put them in their garages. But at the same time, the average top golf goer usually, from what I've seen, usually isn't like the best, most avid golfer. It seems to be more like birthday parties, work functions, more of like, if anything, like a night out and have like a couple drinks, and like people that go that like don't know how to swing a golf club. I'm excited to see where this the simulator space goes in say like 5 years or so. You would assume the technology is going to keep getting better and better and cheaper, and with more competition popping up, these big companies are going to have to one make better products and two lower their prices on everything to be able to compete. So 50 an hour most places where I'm at. Skytrack Plus, 3 grand, give or take after tax. You can catch a sale if already paid self by then. Yeah, I agree. I can't type. Hi, what's up, Declan? I mean, the cool thing is, again, part of the indoor simulator places, the appeal of that is like, I know a lot of them around here, they do like after work leagues and stuff. So you get like a group of your buddies together to do a league, or like you, they do like 2-man scramble leagues, they do 4-man scramble leagues. So you get like another person or like 3 other people together, and you guys go there like every Monday night or whatever, have a couple beers, and like play around and compete. But you can just buy one and take it to a cheap driving range. You just buy a bucket of balls, still cheaper to use your own sim. I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just thinking, you like me, you have to be a pretty down down the rabbit hole of the golf addiction to do that. I mean, if you think about it, the average golfer is like the weekend warrior. So at the most, they're playing once or twice a week. Sometimes some of those guys they'll go a month without playing. But yeah, if you like playing or you want to play more and you want to get better and you don't want to spend a boatload of money, then yeah, the simulator is the way to go for sure. How do the simulators detect your swing so accurate? It's called a launch monitor. That's basically simulators are there's two parts. One, there's the launch monitor behind you that's tracking like what the club does and what the ball does. And then the second part of it, sometimes they're together, but the second part of it is like the simulator software. So like earlier, this my simulator software was GS Pro. That's what you were seeing with like the on-screen graphics and all that stuff. So basically, I had a separate unit that you weren't seeing. That is behind me like 7 feet. So say I was hitting up here. My unit would be back here on the ground, and it was tracking everything. And then it basically takes that data, everything it tracked for the swing, and I mean in like a fraction of a second, it sends it over to the computer, which shows the shot. It's an addiction. If I have a family, kids to always take care of, I play golf in real life more. And just once a weekend. I play every day. Yeah, I get that. But I don't know. I say that, but there's not even, it's just, you can also factor in the nice part about the simulator, especially if you have a dedicated space. Say it was like in your garage or in an extra bedroom, and all you had to do in there was basically turn the lights on and like turn like two things on. Um, that's even more of an appeal. But even for me, I have to like go up and set everything up. But I can go out there, and if I really want to, and like do like a bare bones setup and like maybe just bring my laptop out and not even like the power cord or anything, and or even just use my phone, go out there and play a round of golf and then pick it up real quick in like under an hour. You can't do that at the course. I feel like I go through waves. Like there'll be times where literally I don't play on course for like up to like 2 months in a row, but then I play on course and I remember how much more fun it is. Or I play like a nice course and then I find myself playing like pretty frequently after that. And then for whatever reason I kind of like fall off and then go for like another extended period of time just on the simulator. Mark my words, Black Cloud. I will eventually. I don't know when it will be. I don't know how it will come about, but I will definitely eventually get an upgraded unit from the R10. And I don't think I'm really happy with my. I remember I think you were possibly in here the other day. I was talking about it. I mentioned it a couple times, but back in April when I got GS Pro, obviously I had to buy the laptop and then buy GS Pro on top of it. But I was kind of down. I was debating between buying a different unit or buying that GS Pro setup. And I'm pretty happy that I have the GS Pro setup. One, because I can currently use it with the R10, but two, um, when I do get an actual upgraded unit that's more accurate, I already have everything ready to go with GS Pro. Same as I'm in my garage. Once the kids go to bed, I spend hours in the garage, lose track of time. That's awesome. Do you like have to break things down and set them up every time to like pull cars in or whatever, or is it just like solely your simulator room? So like I was saying before, you can just walk in there, like turn a couple lights on, turn the projector on, type of thing, and just like leave the unit set up. That square golf unit, I watched another video last night on it. That thing looks pretty sweet, but I looked at their website and I knew people have said it's not for outdoors, and I double checked and it says you can't use it in direct sunlight, which sucks. Like, I get it not being waterproof, like the Garmin for whatever reason. I guess if you're on the range, which is like, it's a nice feature if you get caught in the rain, but the Garmin's like pretty high water resistant, borderline like waterproof. Um, like, I don't even need that because I'm not out there. I'm not out there in the rain or even a chance of rain. So I just need something that is preferably used indoors, but something that can be used outdoors, and like the sun's not going to mess with it, and just take like the rain factor out of it. No, I just have to set up the SkyTrack iPad on a stand. TV and nets are already set up. That's not bad. It is nicer. It's one less thing I have to do. So did you recover from your round earlier? I don't know, not really. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a couple days until the next time I play. That was horrendous. How'd your rounds go? I was thinking about it. I've been hitting some putts here, and I'm wondering why my my lower back, just standing here, is more sore than usual. And I remembered that I did, when I worked out this morning, I did chest, back, and biceps. And for the first time in a while, I did those, they're called Supermans on the ground. You really lay on your stomach and you raise basically your arms and your legs together to work your lower back. So I'm thinking, obviously I gotta blame it on something. Um, Aside from just being a bad golf day, I'm thinking possibly those Supermans that I did maybe contributed to some not so hot golfing. What's up, Deborah Summerford? You really like golfing? Most days, I didn't really like golfing today, but most days I like golfing too. Mr. Play 32, how was lasagna to me? I like lasagna. Bet you do better the next time you play? We'll see. I hope so. I hope you're right. I was thinking it's either that was just a one-off really bad round, or it is possible that was a large splash of a possible slump that could extend a little bit. But I don't know if it'll be the next time I go out or if maybe it takes me 3 more bad rounds or whatever. But I guarantee you there will be a round where I'm going out and my expectations are low. And then out of nowhere, I'll just start hitting it really good again and be like, oh, well, I'm back. Tough to tell though. I don't know if today was just like an abnormally bad day or if that's going to be how my golf game is going to be for the next like month. 4 over on a par 3, 8 over on a web tour. Well, so you played about 2 to 3 times as good as I did. That's awesome. That course was tough though. I'm used now over these past couple weeks doing that 3 to T series. It was just kind of bouncing around by playing only 3 holes per course. So um, I knew it was a really cool course on the 3 holes that I played, and people seemed to like it. But I didn't know it was going to be like, I don't know if there was an easy hole in that entire course. Like that was a tough course. There's been rounds in the past, I haven't got around to them, but there's been a few rounds like that where I say I really like the course and I just played bad, so I want to go back and do it again when I'm playing better. Which that would be squarely, Sanctuary for a full 18 would be squarely on that list. Let's see if I get back around to it. For me, part of the fun is just with like the 1,000+ courses of GS Pro. I like coming across new courses to try out, and at the bare minimum say at least I tried it. But it's cool when like you stumble across a really cool one that you didn't even know about. I played it on E6, so I know my way around. Huh. Why is that? You didn't feel like setting up GS Pro? I tried the E6 like trial thing, and like I know it came with free courses, and I tried them when I first got the R10, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just my phone or whatever, I like kept getting like kicked out and logged out, and for whatever reason, just like the interface of it kind of messed with my eyes. It just didn't suit my eyes. I know some people felt the same way about Home T Hero. When I switched over to GS Pro, they were like, "Geez, dude, took you long enough. I don't know how you tolerated Home T Hero for that long." But I used to, not that I will never use it again, but I used to really like Home T Hero. People see GS Pro and they think, okay, that's what Home T Hero should be, and they were like disappointed about the cartoonish graphics. But I just thought it was awesome that all the course layouts were very, very accurate to the actual courses. So yeah, the graphics were like cartoony, but that's not exactly what it's all about. What's an average green fee in your area? Always hear crazy 200 plus green fees in America, which are insane to me. We don't have anything quite that expensive, at least what I've played around here. I try to play some of the nicer courses, not like top of the end courses. Like there's a couple like casinos that have like $150 rounds, and there's some like somewhat like semi-private courses that they've done like web.com tournaments or whatever. At those are probably like 150, but the courses that I play, it's usually, so I don't know if it works the same with you, but they do significantly, or not significantly, but um, definitely cheaper during the week from Monday to Thursday. So greens fees are cheaper then, and then usually Thursday through Sunday, and then on any holidays, or Friday through Sunday rather, and any holidays, they basically charge the weekend rate. So during the week, the courses that I play, they're usually about 40 to $50 to walk 18. If you want a cart, you usually spend $10 to $15 per nine, so another 20 or 30 bucks. And then if they're 40 to walk on the weekday, they're probably closer to 50 on the weekend. And if they're closer to 50, then they're closer to like 60 to walk on the weekend. It's around about there. Oh, you played it. I read that wrong. You played it a lot on E6. I thought you meant you went out there today and played E6. You played it on E6. I misread that. I liked Home to Hero a lot. Yeah, me too. For whatever reason, I think some people valued, like I did, the fact that they had literally every single course available, like 40, 42, 43, 44,000. I'm sure they keep adding them, but call it 40, 45,000 courses that they had. And yeah, it doesn't look like you're playing the course, but if you've actually played any of them, like in your hometown, you know that they have all the trees and all the water and everything, all the bunkers, they're all in the exact place that they would be. So, I don't know, I feel like people miss that. People wanted like E6 type of graphics, but I would 10 times out of 10 rather play Home to Hero than E6, but that's just me. I catch the afternoon rates on my local cars, costing me about 40 with a cart. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it'll drop down. So, like, Twilight Golf around here, some courses, they would do like $30 for all you can play after like 3 o'clock during the week. So, the only problem with that is, like, times like this, it gets dark at like, it's going to keep getting darker earlier, but I don't know, call it 6 o'clock, it's dark. But those are definitely more popular springtime and like early summer where it stays light out a lot longer. And they do have, I don't know when they change them. It's probably just based on demand, but they do have like peak season rates and they have off season rates too. But usually those aren't that significant. You're probably talking about at the most $5 to $10 for the round, cheaper. $20 euros for 18, walking midweek. Memberships are really popular. Decent courses, which are 800 to 1200 for the year. So 20, I mean, that seems pretty cheap. 20 euros for 18 during the week. That's what, 25 bucks, something like that. That's cheap. Basically, it sounds like, at least in your area, your 18 hole rates sound like my 9 hole rates walking. Because there's courses here, um, like I played Friday afternoon a couple weeks ago, and it was like $33 to go walk 9 at like a decent course. And then they usually give you a little bit of a discount if you, so it would be like, say, $30 for if you only played 9, or it'd be like $50 if you played 18, kind of thing. But most decent, even during the week, most decent courses around here are $20 to $30 to walk 9. you could easily spend 40 if you even 50, but you could easily spend $40 if you wanted to play 9 with a cart. People pay it though. I pay it, so more power to them, I guess. On top of COVID, which is definitely a big part of it, of being more popular, golf is just one of those only things where it's relatively leisurely. You don't really need to be in super great shape to play it. You can go out there and play by yourself. You can play with 4 people. There's not too many other sports where you can like drink beer and ride around sitting down while you're playing a sport. So that's a big part of it too. Kind of wish I was a little bit older and or was just playing like early to mid 2000s, because I can imagine like golf was a lot smaller and less popular back then. I'd imagine one, prices were way cheaper back then, and two, like I could go to the same what I consider pretty nice courses around here. You could probably just walk up on like a Saturday and just go play. Around here now, they're scheduling tee times up to a week out in advance. There's a pretty cool links course near me that I can play for 30, walking 18. I think it's having a small population, so many courses in Northern Ireland. Yeah, I mean, you're in a hot spot for sure. And I know they're cheaper, like down in Florida where there's a ton of them. They're cheaper too. But at least where I am in the Northeast, there's not as many of them. And there's a lot of people that like to play. Plus, we have the factor of uh, having 4 months worth of like cold and snow. I smoke cigars when I golf. I'm like Miguel Jimenez. That guy's funny. I like his stretching routine. I went through a period of like a year or two. I was smoking a cigar like every time. Hi, I love golf. I play for my school. Can you give me advice? If you play for your school, you could probably give me advice, Mr. Best in the West 409. When I started playing, one course was $12 for the day. Play all you want. That's crazy. There is a course I play near my uncle. Um, it's like, I mean, you get what you pay for. It's only 9 holes, and it's not that nice, but it's $20 during the week for all you can play golf. But one, it's not that nice. Two, it's pretty short. And three, it's only 9 holes, so it can get jammed up with you trying to play 18 or even 27, with other people going just trying to play 9 or 18, because you all get bottlenecked and jammed at the first hole. I heard there's like one of the nicest courses around here, like 20, 30 years ago. They used to have an honor system. So like now is one of the more expensive and nicer courses around here. Back then, call it 20, 30 years ago, they had an honor system. So you would just go to the clubhouse and put your money in like a thing outside and go play. That's how much that's changed in like 20 years from what I hear. Wasn't a good course, but hey. I mean, sometimes those are the best. Sometimes they're not as crowded, great for learning and getting used to it. Whatever, I shoot like an average like 84, but I'm only 12. Yeah, so you're as good as me, if not better. And you're only 12. Can't imagine you're playing the furthest back tees at 12, but still. One, I wasn't playing at 12, and two, if I was playing at 12, I wouldn't be shooting 84. So keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I play from the whites normally. I do a lot of times too, just because I play with like friends or family that aren't quite as good, so they don't want to move back. So I just play with them. It's kind of a pain when you're playing from two different tees. You gotta have people wait, stand out of the way. It's easier just to play with them. Plus, it makes me feel better on my tee shots playing from the whites as opposed to like the back tees. Agreed. I play from the reds when I bring wife sometimes just for that reason. It's all fun. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know. Trying to think recently if I've played the reds. I don't think I have, but yeah, I mean, one, you it turns a golf course into a completely different one, and two, it's just fun. So maybe instead of like trying to hammer driver off the tee, maybe you just hit a good smooth iron shot out into play. And I mean, there's a reason why people like Bryson and John Daly, I've heard talk about it. They say play the reds, move closer, and learn how to score, and then move back. I feel like myself included, but a lot of us could learn from that. Really? I heard it explained. I know on average it's like the reds are for the ladies and like the whites are like juniors, or not the whites, the yellows are like juniors or seniors, but really it should be just like handicap. It should be like take everything else out of it. It should just be handicap, but you're going to Top Golf tonight? What do you think you should work on? We were just talking about Top Golf. I don't know. If you're spending money to go to Top Golf, or someone's spending the money for you, I don't know if Top Golf is the best place to go and do swing work. I would say just go have fun, but play the tees that fit your game. Yeah, exactly. And switch it up too. I feel like I should do that, but more people should be willing to switch it up. What shaft should I play with? I don't know. Ivan Green. You talking about driver? Are you talking about irons? How fast do you swing it? What do you currently have? Generally speaking, with shafts, driver is obviously one shaft, and they can base it on your driver swing. But usually your iron shaft are kind of based on your driver swing, anyways. But just look up a chart online. Just Google like swing speed shaft flex, and it'll tell you. If you know what your swing speed is, that is. Ever make a hole in one? Not on course, but I have one on the simulator, which kind of counts, but not really. I swing my shafts really fast for a while, then I stops suddenly. Yeah, that's not telling me much. I'm talking like fast or slow is subjective. You need to go to like a golf store or get on a simulator or a launch monitor that tells you exactly how many miles an hour you're swinging. I should have seen that coming. Oh, we're talking golf. Never mind. That's funny. I mean, considering this is a golf channel, I thought you were possibly a beginner golfer and had no idea what you were talking about, but that's kind of funny. Honestly, I'm pretty tired, so I was just trying to answer the question, but I should have seen that coming. What area are you around in the U.S.? New England, Northeast. I made an ace in real life. Had two witnesses. 145-yard par 3 is my 7-iron. Didn't see it go in because of a berm in the front of the green. Is your second year at golf and you got a hole in one? That's crazy. U.S.? Yeah, I'm in the U.S. The ball rests in a case on my dresser. Good sport. Texas, baby. I heard there's some cheap courses down in Texas. The one hole in one I got on the simulator was on Home to Hero, but after I was done, I took that ball and I wrote like with Sharpie on it the date, uh, what course it was, what hole it was, the yardage, and what club I hit. I'll get one eventually, hopefully. Maybe one of these days I'll do one of those videos of like sleeping in my golf simulator until I get a hole in one type of thing. Don't know where I heard that. My next door neighbor witnessed it along with a single he picked up. They both said they've been playing golf for over 20 years and never saw one or have one in real life. That's awesome. Did you buy him drinks? I know you're supposed to buy the whole clubhouse drinks, but maybe that's why I don't have one. No shot I'm buying the whole clubhouse drinks. There's some pretty big clubhouses around here. Those people some pretty big tabs. Next hole you got an 8. Yeah, that's how I feel like if I have like a really low 9 holes or like I get an eagle or like I hole out or something from like 50 yards. I basically just say, all right, well, today was a massive success. I don't care if I get a snowman on every single hole or I just stop playing. Sometimes that's what it's about. Take your victories when you get them. How often do I stream? Lately, I've been doing it almost every night with these putting streams because it's easier for me just to kind of pop on and hit some putts. As far as outside, once a week maybe, twice a week if I'm lucky. It's going to get tougher and tougher with the cold weather, so definitely going to be more of these, which is why I've been doing them, than outdoor simulator streams. The bar was closed when we got done with the round, but I bought him a sub on the way home. Yeah, I mean, I would buy like my foursome a drink, but I'm not buying the whole clubhouse a drink. People must be out and about doing stuff tonight. I was supposed to go out, but I'm tired, so I think I'm just gonna kind of bail on that. It's not like I had like super serious plans with one particular person, but I just don't really feel like going out and being tired while I'm out. Man, I wish I had the cold weather in Texas. It's 90 degrees over here. Yeah, I get it, but like Bill's saying, send some of send some of that heat east. It's always grass is greener and the temperature's always better on the other side. If all you deal with heat, you want cold, and if you deal with cold, you want more heat. Sounds like you should move to like Vermont. How cold is that right now? Um, Actually, I can look. I'll look and tell you right now. I'm guessing probably 50-ish, maybe. I don't know. It's gonna start getting colder in the mornings and overnight. Let's see what we got right now. 52 here. That's 55 here. Feels like 54. Feels colder than that though. When I was out there earlier, I mean even that in the shade, it felt like mid to low 50s, and that was a little while ago. Lucky it's 92 right now. Yeah, that's a little brutal. I'll admit that. At what time is it? 7:30 at night. As soon as the sun gets low, temp drops off quick. Yeah, exactly. That's nothing here. Summer gets to 108. We get up around 100 in the summer. At the most, usually it'll be like, at the very most, like 105 with some humidity. But those days are pretty rare. But we also get hit with a lot of snow in the winter. You don't have to deal with that. Unless you have one of those, what was that, like 2, 3 years ago? You had those, like, Texas had that snowstorm, and like people's insulation and everything isn't the same down there. Some people don't even have like heaters. Go to the hotel in Maryland, you can go stay with Bogeyman Bill. Gotta go now, brother. Catch you later. I proofread this last message this time. No more lick from me. Oh man, that's funny. All right. Have fun. Thanks for stopping by. Go play some golf with Bogeyman Bill. Has it snowed in 8 years in your part of Texas? I would assume you're pretty southern Texas then. I would assume that snowstorm would make sense. It was a little more northern. Is there a southeast? Anyone in here ever done that Superman exercise that I was talking about earlier? Anyone that can commiserate with how my lower back feels right now? And unfortunately, I follow these different workout programs, and today was the first day of this new one. I have a feeling. I lift almost every day, so I do like a month's worth of workouts in like half the time. But I have a feeling for these next like 2 weeks, I have a feeling every other day I'm going to be doing those stupid Supermans. At least that's what I fear. I know the fact that I don't want to do them and I'm so sore from doing them means I need to do them more, but that doesn't help my lower back right now. Probably go for another 20 minutes or so. Call it quits at 8. Pack it in early. Boogeyman Bill, if you're still in here, what'd you think about that little dual stream I had before? Like I said, first time doing that, but I thought that was pretty cool. I like that setup. Appreciate it. I didn't even know that was possible. So, like I said, I did some research and tested it out, and it seemed like everything worked at least decent. One thing that was weird, I'll have to watch them back kind of side by side, but I had like the two different chats pulled up. It was weird that it seemed like the one you were watching in like widescreen mode was seemed like it was almost like 10-20 seconds delayed than the other one. I don't care for the smaller viewers I watch from the laptop. Yeah. Like I said, I had you in mind. You mentioned that the other day, so I had you in mind when I found out that was possible. And I'm sure you're not the only one. Oh, it was only about 2 seconds? I had it muted obviously, just so there wasn't like an echo, but I would like look at one screen and look at the other real quick when I was over by the computer, and it seemed like when I was like walking over to the computer or like walking around that the other one was pretty delayed, but it was only 2 seconds. That's not bad. It's always weird too, because it's almost like Inception. Like even on this one, like I have like the one phone that's actually streaming, so I'm seeing stuff real time. I know it's like turned around, but then I'm watching like the chat here on the stream, which is delayed. And that's kind of what I was dealing with like out there. I would like something would happen on my end, and in general, just like the streams compared to what I'm seeing is a little bit delayed just by the time like the signal gets out and everything. So it was like I'm dealing with that normal delay and then an extra delay on top of it between the two different streams. What handicap are you? 8.9. If I factored in my simulator round today, it'd be a lot higher, but those don't factor in. So I don't know, call it 9, 8.9 to be exact. It's actually probably closer to like, I don't know how much one single stroke would be, but realistically it's closer to like probably an 8.7, 8.5, but 8 or 9. I've kind of been curious about that, but not curious enough to where I want to input all the individual scores from all the different courses into like a separate system. I could probably change the one hole that was off in my watch, but it seemed weird. Like I birdied the last hole. I think, and it was so like I got a 4 on the hole, but it was a par 5 on the scorecard, and it was a par 4 in my watch. So I put in 4, so they think I got a par. It feels weird to change it to a 3, but I guess that would kind of solve it. I'm about 11 or 12. That's pretty good. Gotta practice putting out like this and practice your short game. You better be pro. You do this. You do this too much. Laughter 101. I'm definitely not a pro, and I'm definitely not going to be a pro, but just trying to get better at putting and talk to you guys. I mean, realistically, if it was truly solely about just getting it putting, I wouldn't have these rope lights on. I probably wouldn't be live streaming it and reading message in between. But I get your point. You get paid from YouTube? Not yet. Keep at it, brother. Appreciate it. Trying. One putting live stream at a time. Would appreciate it though if you guys check out any of my other videos. You can go way back in history and look at videos from like 2 years ago. For whatever reason, who's putting right now? Me. What do you think, it's a robot? You think I have guests come in here and roll putts for me? Like cute Crocs? Thanks. I like them too. I've got like 6 pairs of them. I might have 8 pairs. I gotta check. But I think I threw out 2 older ones. Just sounds like you're right behind the camera. You got small ankles too? Small ankles? Never heard that before. I actually have big calves, but I could see how maybe the black socks and black leggings and the kind of big white Crocs make it seem like I have small small ankles and small legs. What's your best round 9 holes? 2 under. That was like maybe a month ago, month and a half, something like that. Looks can be deceiving. Well, I can tell you, no one's ever told me I have small ankles before, so if I had to guess, I have pretty normal sized ankles, and if anything, I have large calves. My legs in general, I have strong legs, so my legs in general are kind of big, I guess, for a lack of better term. $37 for me. So what was that? Was that 1 over? Was it par 36? Laughter 101 is going to be having me looking at my ankles all night long, thinking, man, is he right? Do I have small ankles? Best in the West plays baseball. I don't believe him. 1 over. That's pretty good. Realistically, if you can shoot 1 over, there's not much in between that and shooting like a couple under par. It's just the difference between like a couple putts dropping or not. That's about it. All right, unless like 50, 100 people happen to come in here, let me call it quits. Another 5 minutes or so. Where you from, bro? New England. Northeast. I'm from the region of small ankles. After one, so what does it matter? You ever see Mike Trout? Sorry, brother, I believe you now. Believe me about what? You talking to me or you talking to Best in the West? And New England sounds far. Talking to your boy, he get mad at me. Can't everyone just get along here? What do you call him, BS on his 37? I'm here from Los Angeles, brother. Yeah, well, you're basically on the opposite side of the country. It's what, 3 hour time difference? So it's almost about to be 5 o'clock there. Watching you golf from across the globe. Yes, sir, 5 p.m. Pretty crazy, right? When you think about it. Not exactly across the globe, but across the country. I'm across the country right now rolling putts, and you're watching me from, I don't even know how far it is. How far is it across? 10,000 miles or something? Was it from like New York or Boston to LA, mileage wise? 3 to 4,000, that's it? Oh, it's only 3,000? 1,500? No way, it's 1,500. I want to say it's close to like, maybe it's not. I was thinking it was like 1,000 miles from like here to Florida. Maybe not. Maybe my math isn't mathing right now. From Los Angeles to New England is 3,112 miles. Hit 10 in a row for the chat. And I mean, Bogeyman Bill nailed it. 3,000. So did Best in the West. You said that earlier, but 10 in a row. Probably already done that if you've been counting. That's 5. I think that's 8. Alright, there's 10. Halfway through, you got this? 10 in a row. We hit 21 in a row the other night. I don't really like counting, though. It's kind of dumb just me standing here having to concentrate on the hitting the putts in a row and counting. I kind of just like going back and forth with you guys and hitting putts. Man, there's 20 people here and only 3 commenting. Come on, chat. I know. That's kind of how it goes. There's been times there's been like 50, 60, 70 people in here. And there's like 4 people saying stuff. I mean, I don't blame it. Sometimes I just scroll and you want to watch and not say anything. But I would say on average, it's probably like however many people are in here, it's like 10% of that. Alright, folks. I'm tired. I'm going to wrap this up. Appreciate Boogeyman Bill, amongst others, being in here again. Probably, I got some stuff to do tomorrow, and I'm going to be sore. So, very low likelihood of me going outside to do anything. But possibly, I may pop on here, maybe during the day, roll some putts. But, not sure. More reps, bro? Nah. At least not for tonight. But, take it easy, Laughter 101. Have a good night to you too, Boogeyman Bill. Bye to Best in the West. Don't forget to grow them ankles. That's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go work on that. I'm gonna go do some Googles. Search the old Google machine, look up some ankle exercises, see what I can do. Good night, brother. See ya. Next time I come on here, you won't even recognize my ankles. That's how big they're gonna be. But until next time, see you guys on the next stream. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified if I go live again, before this live goes away forever.